everyone, thanks for tuning in to KT Garage. This is part 66 of the SuperHog build. On part 65, I was trying to finalize the power steering, hook up, make sure all the holes are all replaced, put some gauges on it, turn the truck on and look at the gauge to see what kind of pressure I'm seeing in different places. And the one place where the holes blew up before, I was looking at the pressure and it maxed out on the gauge. It's over 60 PSI. I'm not sure how high it's gonna go. So I went and ordered a 300 PSI gauge. I'm gonna do the swap today. Then we'll crank up the truck again and see what the actual pressure is. And then if it maxes out at 300 PSI, and then we have a major problem, something is plugging up, because that hole is only designed for working pressure of 300 PSI. So let's go do that and then crank up the truck, and everything is looking good. We're gonna take the truck out for a test drive. So please stay tuned. Okay, so swapping out the gauges are super easy. You can see that I already got it swapped out. This is up to 300 PSI max. So whatever pressure in this line, it needs to be under 300. The gauge that I took out, you can see right here, it's maxed out at 60, but check this out. So when I remove the gauge, it's completely removed from the system and it shows 57 PSI. That because I screwed it up. I overpressured. It went all the way to this needle over here and it maxed out on this needle. It's the physical stop. I think I ruined the gauge. That's okay. It's cheap Amazon gauge. I got it for like 15 bucks, so it's not too bad. That gauge is gonna do it. You can see that the gauge is a little bit bigger. I think this is a 2-inch gauge for the bigger pressure display. So let's see if I can start up the truck, and I'm kind of anxious to see what kind of pressure is present here. Okay, let's see if I can start this up and look at the pressure. Well guys, I think we're definitely having a problem. So this gauge right here, it was up to about 300 PSI. And then when I tried to rotate the steering wheel, it actually went all the way up to this desktop. So it's gonna be over 400 PSI in the system. I think it's way too much for what the pressure is to activate the fan clutch. So something is going on here, and these holes are only designed for 300 PSI while it's operating normally. I think it takes up to like 1,000 PSI or something to blow them up, but you know, you don't want to operate over the suggested pressure. So I think what happened is this solenoid right here, there might be some clogging going on in here where it's supposed to be discharged into the reservoir, and this goes to the reservoir. I think there's some blockage in here that causing that issue for the pressure back up on this side. So I'm going to take this out and see if I can disassemble it and see what's blocking, clean it up, and then put it back to pressure improve. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is just to remove this from the main body, and these are threaded in, and I just broke the thread before I made the video. So this thread is, you probably have to put a wrench on here, a clamp on this, and try to break it loose. So in here there's a piston in here that gets activated when the power is on. So when there's electrical power, I believe this comes forward and open up the flow. And this is as far as I got. So I'm gonna have to do a whole bunch more disassembly to find out what's wrong, because this looks quite clean. There's an O-ring in here. There's a holes that for the bypass, and then this thing is plugging up the middle hole. Oh, that just failed. Okay, so I'm gonna see from the look of this. I think I can break this to pieces and then find out what's in here. I'm trying to clean it out. Okay, so first I'm just gonna take all these fittings out, and hopefully there's a filter or something in here that got clogged up before removing the entire system. Okay, let's see what we got here. Just gonna clean this up. Okay, so now we're gonna try to break the top cap off. Okay, it says there's a spring in here. Look like this valving system in here. Okay, so let's go over how this solenoid works. And it's like super simple. It just takes me a few minutes to figure it out. So this is your body. It's just a one-piece body. You got a cylinder. Then there's a polypack seal on there. The seal looks really good, so I don't need to replace it. Now, this cylinder goes into here. So you just push it in like that. There's a spring that's loading that cylinder. And then the top cap, you just kind of put it on and make it up. And at this point, that cylinder is forced down by the spring. And there's a reason for that. We're going to talk about that in just a minute here. So this is forced down all the time. So let's talk about hydraulics a little bit. So you have the inlet is this hole right here. And this hole, when it comes in, it needs to go back to the reservoir. So this is your bypass. So this cylinder is loaded in by the spring. And as the pressure build up, it's going to try to push that cylinder forward. And as it pushes it forward, it gives it more bypass. So this spring is controlling the pressure of your hydraulic system. So more like a pressure regulator. So when you have pressure coming in here, it pushes forward, and then it allows more bypass because you're building up too much pressure. And it's building the pressure for this hose here. And this is your fan clutch. And there's tiny little holes, and that's really all you need to activate the fan. And so when you have this whole system bolted down like that, and the spring is engaged, the top piece right here, this right here is acting as a seal, and it's always sealed. So it's like that. So this activator is sealing on this hole right here. So in normal condition, when the fan is not on, this hole is sealed up. So there's no pressure allowed to go to the fan clutch. But this solenoid right here, when the electricity is going through it, it's going to pull it back. It just creates a magnetic field and it pulls it back. So when it pulls it back, and this is spring loaded, right? It's sealing on here, but when this is pulled back, it's allowing flow to come from there, because this flow is coming from the bottom, and then it goes. There's a little hole on the side. I'm not sure if you can see it. That hole's right. I'll point this resistor to it. So there's a hole right there, and that's the hole that leading down to this chamber right here, and then it come out of here, allow fluid to come into this chamber and then go to fan clutch. So that's how the system works. Now, when I disassembled this whole thing, I couldn't find anything wrong with it. The smallest thing I have around the shop is this resistor is pretty small. So I poked through this hole right here, and this is the one going to the fan clutch. There's no plugging. Everything seems normal. So I'm just going to reassemble it. So at this point, I think the system is designed to go up to about 400 or 500 psi, which is a lot to me. But you know, I think it's working properly because I couldn't find anything wrong with the system. And the pressure regulator is controlled by the spring, which is like, it's mechanical, so it can't go wrong. So maybe my hose burst just because it was old, but I'm surprised that they would build up, you know, over 400 psi. So anyway, so at this point, I'm just going to reassemble and put it back in the truck. But again, reassembly is super easy. You just push that cylinder in, and then get your spring on. There's a little recess here. Just make sure you get the spring on that recess. And then you just secure the assembly like that. And just make sure you torque it up real good. And then, yeah, just make sure you get this assembly on there. And then reassemble it. Sorry, this side. So you're gonna reassemble it like that. Torque all of this up, and you're done. It's not too bad. Well guys, at this point, I'm not very comfortable with this setup because I couldn't find anything wrong with it. That means that the system is designed to build that much pressure. It's over 400 psi. I have no idea how high it goes. So I will do something a little different. I'm just gonna bypass it for now while I'm doing testing on the vehicle. I'm just gonna use this T and let the hydraulic comes in, and then this goes to the bypass, and then this goes to the fan clutch. So hopefully I have enough pressure to activate the fan clutch and have the fan running full time. I'm okay with that while I'm doing testing. So let's try to get this on, and then this I'm just gonna leave it aside for now. I just really don't feel comfortable with the whole setup for right now. It could be a problem with this, which I couldn't visually see anything, or it could be something else. Let's do the bypass so we can keep testing the vehicle, and then we'll deal with the fan later. Well guys, this is just a temporary test setup for right now, but basically I'm bypassing that entire solenoid. I put a T in here. So this is the inlet. That's back to the reservoir, and this is to the fan clutch. So apparently there's no choke here, so the pressure is kind of low. Not sure what the pressure is. I'm going to read it off from this gauge, and then we'll figure out if the fan clutch is engaged. If it does, great. That means that I'm just going to keep it on full time. It's all right for my application. I'm good with that. Like all the old engine the fan is on full time anyway, so I don't see there's a hum in that. Let's hope that's the case. We will check this out. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to mechanically go in there and lock up that gauge, sorry, the clutch, and that's a lot of work because I gotta get the radiator out. Like all the stuff gotta go to get to that clutch. A lot of work, so hopefully this will take care of it. All right, so let's start up the engine and see what's going on with the pressure. Yeah, cleaning about 2 to 3 psi. Looks like the fan is on as well. All right, so much better. Well guys, I'm super happy to see that the fan is running full time now and the pressure is only about 5 psi, which is awesome. I'll take the 5 psi over the 500 or whatever psi was before any day. Let's just have it activate full time for now. So guess what? I'm ready for test drive again, except for it's gonna rain today and tomorrow, which the way the truck is right now with no hood and a lot of things are not sealed, I don't want to get water all over it. So guess I'm gonna have to wait until next week to do the test drive. I'm just gonna conclude this video, upload it so you guys know what I've been up to. So just be on the lookout for next week video. I'm gonna show you guys how the test drive turns out. I think it's gonna be great. I appreciate you guys tuning in to KT Garage. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Thank you.